Alright, so I had a request to make an Inzektor deck, and seeing as when I first got back into the game earlier this year, Inzektors were the very first deck I looked up and researched on how to play. So I do have some experience with the deck, and I haven't really played it since then. So I went online, looked at a ton of different deck profiles, and threw in my own personal flavor, read through a whole bunch of forums, and this Inzektor deck is pretty solid, and it's actually really fun. They can go for some rank 5 summons, and they can bring out Inzektor X deck. Well, anyways, let me just go through the deck list, then I'll talk about it. There's 1 Hornet, 1 Dragonfly, triple Centipede, triple Ladybug, 1 Gigamantis, 1 Hopper, 1 Armageddon Knight, double Summoner Monk, 1 Card D, double Maxi, 1 Dark Arm Dragon, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Foolish Burial, double Insect Limitation, triple Pawn of Duality, double MST, 1 Book of the Moon, 1 Inzektor Zectocaliber, triple Threatening Roar, double Mirror Force, 1 Dimensional Prison, 1 Evac Device, double Fiendish Chain, double Call the Haunted, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, 1 Inzektor Extra Beetle, 1 Wind Up Arsenal, 1 Keeper of Genesis, 1 Volcanosaur, 1 Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja, 1 Inzektor Extra Stag, 1 Keymaster, 1 Black Ship of Corn, 1 Symphony Dijin, 1 Laval Chain, 1 Gaga Cowboy, 1 Sea Dragon, 1 Zenmite, and 1 Bastijin, just because I like Bastijin. I've been trying them out. Alright, so the way Inzektors work is you want to get out Centipede or Dragonfly as fast as possible, while at the same time getting Hornet in the grave so you can pop your opponent's cards. With Dragonfly, whenever it has a card attached to it that's sent to the graveyard, Ladybug is great for doing that, and so is Hornet, because when he can send himself to the graveyard with his own effect, so can Ladybug and so can Hopper. That's why those cards are in there. But Hornet, when he's sent to the grave by his own effect, while he's attached to someone, you can destroy a card in the field, which is why he's at 1, because he's pretty good. With Dragonfly, when you send a card to the grave while it's equipped, you get to special summon out another Inzektor monster. Normally, 100% of the time, well, not 100% of the time, most of the time you go for Centipede. Bring out Centipede with Dragonfly's effect, use Centipede's effect to equip another Ladybug to Centipede, use Ladybug's effect to send herself to the grave, which will allow you to activate Centipede's effect to search out an Inzektor monster to your hand. You can add Gigamantis because he allows you to boost up their attack to 2400, which is awesome for some plays. So yeah, that's how they usually work. It's just getting out Dragonfly or Centipede, and basically all the other ones are support for these 2 cards. We're going to be sending them to the grave and adding them back. You want to keep these guys alive. Hornet you rarely ever use unless you're going for a rank 5 summon with Ladybug, because Ladybug's effect is when you send herself to the grave, you can increase the level of the target of one of your Inzektors by 1 or 2. Usually you do it by 2. You bring up Centipede and Dragonfly up to level 5, and then you go to a Extra Stag or one of the other good level 5 XYZ monsters, because they're all pretty good. And you use Hornet to pop the field with Centipede and Dragonfly while activating their effects. And Hopper is just for insect limitation, you know, if you want to get rid of Centipede or Dragonfly. Insect limitation, is tribute a monster, special summon 1 insect type monster from your deck whose level is 1 higher than the tributed monster. The good thing about this card is that the tributed monster himself does not need to be insect type. So if you throw out Card D, which is a great Veeler bait target, they'll use a Veeler on it, and since he's level 2, you get Insect Limitation mount to get a Centipede or a Dragonfly to start your combos, because you want to get out Centipede or Dragonfly as fast as possible. Summoner Monk and 1 Armageddon Knight, you never want to play more than 1. Summoner Monk is to go into Armageddon Knight, use Armageddon Knight's effect to send Hornet, or if he's already in the grave, Ladybug, because those are the 2 cards you want in your graveyard as fast as possible. And then you go into Laval Chain. Where's Laval Chain at? There you go, Laval Chain. And then you use Laval's Chains to add Dragonfly to the top of your deck. Or if you already have Dragonfly in your hand, send a Ladybug to the grave. Or a Hornet if you haven't sent him there yet with Armageddon Knight's effect. That's what the Double Summoner Monk and Armageddon Knight is for sending Hornet to the grave and bringing out Laval Chain to send Ladybug, or add Dragonfly to the top of your deck to draw into him, or add Dark Arm Dragon to the top of your deck. Dark Arm Dragon's in here because Dark Arm Dragon is a 1-card win combo. You're playing a lot of dark types, and it's really easy to manipulate your grave, and Dark Arm Dragon can win you the game by himself, so there's no reason not to run him in this deck. Let's see if I'm forgetting anything. Zektablade. This card increases their attack by 800, which is a lot. I have one game, so it's just using that attack increase. But the good part about this card is when it's sent to the grave while face up on the field, you get to add one of your Inzektor monsters from your grave to your hand. And what you do is equip this to either Centipede or Dragonfly and destroy it with either MST or using Hornet to destroy it himself. And when this card's destroyed, it'll allow you to activate Centipede's effect. Does Dragonfly have this card is sent to the grave, you can switch someone. Yeah, they don't have a limit on how many times you can actually activate their effects. So with Hornet going to the grave, because usually the combo is worked with Hornet, because you have Hornet equipped to Dragonfly, and say you equip Zektablade to Dragonfly as well. You detach Hornet to destroy Zektablade, they'll both go to the grave, you'll activate Dragonfly's effect twice, while at the same time adding one of your Inzektor monsters from your grave to your hand. Usually either Gigamantis, because you can activate his effect from your hand to increase their attack by 2400, or adding a Centipede to your hand, or if you're using this on Centipede, adding a Dragonfly. But basically what this allows you to do is with Zektablade and Hornet, you can special summon out 2 monsters of Dragonfly or add 2 cards to your hand with Centipede, since there's no limit on how many times you can use it per turn. Card D is, I already explained that, it's a Veeler bait pretty much, and you only want one because you don't want to draw into this late game. It's a good card for opening up if you draw into a duality and you can't special summon anyway. You go into a card D and set because Inzektor decks are very trap heavy, so card D is perfect for trap heavy decks. Max C, well, because he's Max C. He's a target for Insect Imitation because he's level 2. You can bring out a Centipede or Dragonfly, because remember, you want to get these 2 cards as quickly as possible. Or you can just use Max C for Max C to draw a whole bunch of cards on your opponent's turn if they try special summoning. Hopper is because if you want an Insect Limitation, a Centipede or a Dragonfly for some reason, then you can bring out Hopper with his effect. Hopper he's merely okay. What he can do is the reason you run him at all is because he is like Ladybug and Hornet, where he can send himself to the grave to activate Centipede or Dragonfly's effect, but you can't like reuse his effect over and over like you can with Ladybug. And Hopper's effect is the monster can attack directly that turn, and only that one monster, which I've actually won a game using Hopper's effect, so he's not bad because Gigamantis can boost up their attack by a lot. Centipede can search out Zektablade, it doesn't just have to be a monster. So you can equip Gigamantis, Centipede, equip Zektablade to him, he'll be up 3200 attack. You equip Hopper, use Hopper's effect, send him to the grave, you'll activate Centipede's effect to add, Dragonfly to your hand if you want, or Gigamantis. Or if you don't have either of them, just add one of these cards to your hand and he can attack directly, hopefully win you the game. I've actually won a game doing just that. And Ladybug is as central to this deck because of her effect to send herself to the grave while equipped to activate Centipede and Dragonfly's effect. Also, her effect that when she sends herself to the grave, you can increase their level by 1 or 2, so you can go for, I already explained that. Yeah, you can go for rank 5s with Centipede and Dragonfly. Gigamantis, he has the effect of, you can equip this card from your hand directly to it by himself. So if you've already used Centipede's effect to equip once per turn, you can just equip this guy onto him if he's in your hand. Throw him up to 2400 attack. Or if this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped, you can't do it by himself, you can special summon a Inzektor monster from your grave. So Gigamantis is pretty good. Usually use him for going for game, as a beat stick. And I don't think I've ever used his second effect to actually special summon from the grave. Usually it's just as a beat stick. Let's go into spells and traps. Pot of Duality. That's merely just for setting up because you do go for lots of special summons. And you can also just discard it with Summoner Monk. Foolish Burial, because you want to get Hornet or Ladybug. Well, Hornet is always your first priority, and then you go into Ladybugs. You want to get those in the grave as soon as possible. And you absolutely do want to run Foolish Burial even if it is a -1 just to get Hornet in the grave. Insect Limitation, I already explained that. MST because this deck hates back row. Book of the Moon because it's a great staple spell card. I already explained Zectablade. Threatening Roar because you want to keep your little bugs alive as long as possible. Sometimes you don't want to go straight into XYZ summons on your first turn, and you actually want to wait out a turn before you go for game and wait for your opponent to spell summon up monsters or stuff so you can actually pop them all with Hornet. Threatening Roar is a great way to keep your monsters alive for that one turn. Same thing with Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, Compulse because it's a staple. Same with Solemn Warning. Solemn Warning can win you games. Fiendish Chain because you need some kind of spell negation, and Fiendish Chain is personal preference. I love this card. It's won me so many games that I just throw it in every single deck I play pretty much. Call the Haunted because it's great for getting out Dragonfly or Centipede to start activating their effects, because these cards are what run your deck. And since you play a really trap heavy deck, it's totally fine to play Call the Haunted. As for the extra deck, I don't really need to explain it. I should add in another level 6 because I only have one, because sometimes you do go up to level 6 because when they're all equipped to each other it inflates levels slightly. So yeah, I only have one level 6 because of that. The best level 5 monster though is Extra Stag because you can equip your opponent's monsters to him, which is awesome for stealing their high attack monsters and gaining all that attack. Plus he's an Inzektor monster, so you can equip Gigamantis to him from your hand, or Hornet, you can use his effect on that and pop a card if you want. But usually it's just for stealing your opponent's monster, which is great. Otherwise you can go for the good ones like Volcanosaur to destroy a monster, Genesis if you want to destroy one by battle and then destroy a card they have with its second effect, or Wind Up Arsenal to destroy 2 face down cards. There are just a lot of good level 5 monsters. And also Blade Armor Ninja if you're playing against a really trap heavy deck and you're afraid of your monster getting destroyed or banished through a Dimensional Prison, because he pretty much has a self Forbidden Lance. Forbidden Lance I've seen as a real staple in this deck to protect your Inzektors, and I can see why, because you really want your Centipede and Dragonfly to stay alive, but I have never drawn into Forbidden Lance that wasn't a dead card in my hand, so I just got rid of it. Most Inzektor decks though run double Forbidden Lance to protect their Centipede and Dragonfly from bottomless trap hole, which I'm missing from my deck. Wonder why I took that out. I probably just forgot to put it in. Alright, yeah, there it is.